Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. As guys, I have a special interview for all of you today. I believe the most undervalued and underrated NFT project on XRP, Xspectar, is gonna shock you. They have ties to King Solomon. They have ties to Panos, Sadaf in the XRP community, and a couple other high level XRP incredible people. In addition, guys, they have really made an impression on me, building a metaverse economy on the XRP ledger. And you guys better believe this is not one of those projects that's just gonna say with no action. They're really building a real product. And as I know, and all of you know, the XRP community, we gravitate towards our own. I believe after this XRP case is said and done, we're going to be living in a world where many XRP ledger projects and the XRP NFT ecosystem are going to go to the moon and beyond. We are anywhere between 6 to 7 months away, worst case scenario, from this XRP case being over and done with. That is Q1 2023, the absolute latest this can go. And if you're not learning about the XRP ecosystem, and especially this project, I genuinely believe you're missing out. Now, without further ado, guys, please listen to Dirk from Xspectar. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from everyone from across the world. It is my pleasure to be exposing to all of you, if you haven't heard about them already, one of my favorite NFT projects on the XRP ledger. This whole week is going to be in honor of XLS20 coming soon, and XRP NFTs are going to be a massive opportunity for all of you. We saw how Ethereum took the world by storm, had a massive bull run when NFTs really came to be on Ethereum. We have the Bored Apes and the X-Punks on Ether. We saw how Solana rose from the ashes as well and had a very powerful NFT ecosystem. And with the cult-like community and ecosystem that the XRP army has, you better believe that our NFT ecosystem, once it launches, is going to be very powerful. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the leader of one of my favorite NFT projects, Xspectar. My friend, please introduce yourself to the XRP army. Let them know who you
Hello,
are.
Mr. Bull. Thank you for having us. Well, my name is Dirk. As most of you know, I have studied law. I was a property developer. I still am, but I started investing in blockchain technology, in cryptocurrency, and lately as well in some NFT projects, amongst others, the X-Punks, of course. And after a couple of months, I started thinking that I could probably do as good or better. So I decided to launch my own project, Xspectar.
Excellent. And just so the community gets familiarized with what it is you're really trying to build, um, what are you creating and how are you guys different from, let's say older NFT projects? Like, what are you looking to do to be unique?
Well, initially we started thinking about giving utility to the NFTs, which is very important to be future-proof, I think. And we were thinking about implementing some business models or business ideas we have had in real life to get into the metaverse with them. So we start thinking about several things, virtual art gallery, real estate, of course, which is my profession, and
Mm.
some other things that are quite interesting. And initially we tried or we wanted to implement them in other existing or not yet existing metaverses on the Xrpl or on other chains. But in the past few months or weeks, we decided that it would be appropriate to build our own metaverse. Because we have our reasons for that. We think that most of them are still building on Unity, and our artist Mao and his team, they are very into hyper realistic avatars. They're
Mhm.
building software with it as well, and they use Unreal Engine 5. And I think to be future proof, the hyper realism of Unreal Engine 5 is crucial.
Excellent, excellent. And you talked about building your own metaverse, having realistic avatars, and then having like an NFT art gallery, right? These are all unique things that, personally caught my attention. My question to you is, I like getting behind people, right? So one of the reasons that I'm willing to have this interview with you is because we've spoken in the background. You're a straight shooter, my friend, and I don't think you're gonna be able to let your eyes off this project or let it fail. You told me that you're looking to make sure that at the very least everything gets built and go from there, and that's very important to me. My question to you is, how are you going to make sure that everything does get built and the vision does get fulfilled? Like what does it take to really build out a project like what you're doing?
Well, it started out as a hobby, as most of the XRPL or NFT projects did. So I had a budget in mind to start off, and I was willing to pre-fund everything. In the meantime, it became 10 times that amount, but I'm still very confident that what we are doing will be something fantastic. And
Hmm.
of course, we started out with doing an IDO on the XRP ledger. We did it for the past 5 weeks, and we started in the beginning of May and finished end of May. And
Hmm.
we were able to raise 3.5 million XRP in those 5 weeks. You have to remember that the market sentiment is not at its best. We had the Terra Luna disaster. So being able to do that in the past 5 weeks or in the past month, I think that has been a proof as well that the community believes in what we are doing, and that what we will be say that what we say that we will build. So that gave me a huge confidence boost as well. I'm still pre-financing, so we are still building. We have a big team. We have almost 50 people at this stage, and we will be expanding to more than 100 in summer. Because we decided to build it ourselves in-house, so that's something interesting. And about the funding, we still have the 8,888 NFTs that are as good as ready. So we are all set to put them for sale as soon as XLS 20 is implemented. So that's something that we look forward to as well.
Very
And until now, by the way, we did get some offers from big VC funds, but as in some people or some projects mostly try to do pre-seeds or sell their IDs to VC funds and raise capital. I deliberately chose not to do so. I think that we want to show what we can and show what we are building, and then probably there will be a time that we will talk to them. But I believe in seeing is believing. So I wanted to show everybody, the community and everybody who's watching, what we are doing, what we are able to do, and what we will be doing. And I think that's also something to give confidence to everybody who needs it.
Now, you said you were able to get 3.5 million during one of the most cataclysmic capitulative events in the crypto market. That impresses me because most people they'll try to launch things, when everything's hot and spicy and everyone's shilling some random nonsense. So the fact that you were able to do that, I think speaks volumes. Um, I guess for those of for those people at home that may not really understand what an IDO is, could you just go into what that is exactly?
Well, an IDO is a form of ICO, but on the decentralized exchange. So we launched the project, we put out our white paper, and then we start showing things to the community while building. And we set a sell wall. So we did it in 5 batches. We split it up, and we started selling our tokens at 0.08 XRP. the next batch at 0.08 as well, the following at zero point 0.1, and the last one at 0.12. So we put several sell walls, us selling tokens, a big amount of tokens for a fixed price. We communicated very well with the community. So as soon as they saw that we were onto something, they started buying. But instead of boosting the price up, we sold quite a lot of tokens. I think in total with the strongholder offering and the IDO together in the 5 weeks, we sold about 35 million tokens as well. And I think that about now almost half of the total supply is on the market. That's something that's very important for us as well, to have a big supply that's already been distributed between the community members. So that makes it that the price will be more stable and that inflation is less likely, of course.
Excellent, excellent. That's great to hear, my friend. Thank you for explaining that. Now, something else that I did want to go over. I know you touched on it briefly, but I just want to make sure this gets hammered home. What are some achievements that you guys have been able to accomplish? I saw that you were in New York City recently as well. I really want to make sure people get to know everything that you guys have accomplished in just a short period of time.
Well, the first thing that we were able to do was to get a Twitter verification. So that was probably something that took lots of people's attention, because it's not that easy. Luckily, our marketing team was on it for a longer time, and I have some good connections with my other companies as well. But as you know, Mr. Bearable Bull, getting Twitter verification is not that easy.
Tell me
So that
about
was
it.
a very good thing to get some credibility as well, and to show that we are real, you know. And we had lots of advantages by it, because if you are Twitter verified, it's easier to contact people who are also verified or
Mm,
who are more important, so they tend to get your messages more easily. So
mhm,
that was one of the biggest accomplishments, the first. The second one was that we had a Times Square billboard, also the biggest one, the Times Square One takeover, where they do the New
mm,
Year's Eve countdown. Of course, it wasn't. We knew that it wouldn't be immediately to sell our tokens, but I think it was also a sign of good faith and of enthusiasm, and to show to the community that we mean business.
mhm,
And it was very exciting to be there and to see it on the four biggest screens on Times Square. So that
mhm.
was nice as well.
Excellent.
And last week we got listed on a centralized exchange on Bitrue.
Very nice.
Uh, Also very important with the USD pair. And I think, I don't know if lots of projects on the XRPL have more than one centralized exchange listing, but we will be having our second probably in the coming week. We will get listed on another major exchange, and we are in discussions with two other big ones, to see if we can get listed on them as well. But we have to take it step by step. We start with the easier ones and work our way up, of course.
Yep. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. And hey, you guys are really killing it from what I've seen so far. Um, Something I'm curious, and I know a lot of people are probably curious about as well, is can you tell me a little bit more about the Xspectar token and the NFTs? I know you're looking to focus on utility. How can we really hammer home the message of yes, this will be used, not just a well-created avatar?
So we chose deliberately not to issue an IOU token for the NFTs like most projects on the XRPL did.
Mm,
Why? I think because the NFTs are coming close with XLS20, and we don't want to sell IOU. I think it's an interesting concept, but being so close to XLS20, I don't think it's the appropriate way to act.
mm,
What we did was launching our native currency token, the Xspectar token, which will be used within our ecosystem, play to earn reward token,
mm.
also as a payment form in our ecosystem. So and it's also good to engage people, of course, because without anything you don't get the same engagement of the community than with the token. And we will give utility to our native token as well. aside from being the currency in our ecosystem, we have some form of whitelisting, which is known on most other chains. Sorry, you have to hold 8,888 tokens to be able to buy our NFT. Not to buy the NFT, but to be able to buy it, you have to have 8,888 tokens in your wallet. So it's a form of whitelisting. In the near future, we will also give more utility to the native token by giving it voting rights to community members for some decisions that we will make. It won't be like a DAO, but we will do polls, and people with a certain amount of tokens will have voting rights, and we will keep that in mind as well. Aside from that, we are trying to add more utility to the token and to combine the virtual world with real life advantages. So as some of you know, next week we have a VIP launch party. All token holders are invited. Drinks are on us. So that's something that we are planning to do as well on regular basis. Organize real life Xspectar events where token holders are welcome without entry charges or anything. And I have some other companies with some business associates, and we want to give them also discounts. In the companies we run, we have a yacht rental in Ibiza, we have rental houses in the south of Italy.
One
and
second. Whoa. Wait a second. So where's this yacht party that we're throwing, and how much do I have to spend? Because once we go to $589, you know, everyone's gonna be like, hey, Bo, you gotta throw a party. So I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna need some contact with you.
Yeah. So yeah, our VIP launch party is in a big well-known club in Belgium, Europe,
Yeah.
which is partly owned by a good friend of mine. The boat is in Ibiza, and it's out for rent. We are already have it on a website. I think it's on xspectar.yachts. We didn't advertise it yet, but it's for rent for to the public, of course. But we will implement some special discounts for our token holders to make a real connection and to give the native token accept as a payment service within the ecosystem as well, worthwhile holding if you want to have access to those things. Also in the south of Italy, some rental properties which will be able to be rented by our holders for a discounted price.
So before anything else involving your project specifically, something that I do want to really hammer home for the community is, you know, NFT projects are access to networks as much as they are just the artwork and, you know, maybe some utility here and there. They're access to networks. And something that I really have to hammer home for people is that when you get to a certain point in life, access to networks is priceless. You know, I was over here looking up Bugattis the other day, not because I want a Bugatti right now. Don't people are gonna get crazy, but there was someone who said a story. They were like, people think that I got a Bugatti because I wanted to spend $4.5 million on a car. I don't give a shit about the car. The people and events you gain access to because you own a Bugatti is insane. And he says, now I have $1 trillion in my phone.
That's something that lots of people don't understand, and we didn't make ourselves the most popular ones, telling that we are not the most cheap NFT. Probably we don't want to be. We don't want to be as well. We will try to give some exclusivity, and our original NFTs will be a ticket to a club, and we will put our network available. We will put people together, and we will try to build things together and to exchange ideas. And that's something that's very correct. Buying the car is buying an entry ticket to lots of other things, and to get access to lots of other people. I met lots of people I would never have met in real life in the past few months, and it's very interesting from everywhere in the world, from all classes. Very interesting people generally. So that's a very good thing that you say that, because lots of people don't realize that, but that's something we aim to do: incentivize people with nice things, but bringing people together as well from a certain level that can exchange ideas, do business, and whatever they want.
Excellent, excellent. And something I want people to really leave this interview with is knowing as much about you as they can, because dude, you're a powerhouse. Just in real life, you told me everything you were doing. I'm like, oh goddamn, right? You're a powerhouse, man. So like you had all your companies and you continue to say, regardless of what happens, I'll tap into my own money to make sure everything gets completed. And that beyond anything else made me feel as if, all right, this dude right here, he's trying to build something. And regardless of whether or not it fails because the project fails, he's going to make sure everything gets built. And that's priceless to me. So,
Even if we didn't sell anything during our IDO, we will build what we promised to build for sure. I'm quite persistent. I have had some bad experience in business life as well. I've gained a lot. I've lost a lot. I've had my personal issues as well as everybody does. But I learned one thing, that if you use your brain and if you work hard, you will always get back on your feet.
excellent, man. Now, let me see. So, something that I'm curious about, because your avatar software is very good. Can you go into how it is that you go about creating the actual artwork?
Well, I was very lucky to meet our artist by also through our through the network I had. Mao is a guy. He's from Chinese descent. He fled China via Hong Kong when he was 7. He's been living in the Netherlands, and he became one of the most of one of the world's leading artists in hyper-realistic, human-like avatars. So he has been working on big projects. He did some Hollywood movies, I think about 13. He has a team of 30 people working for him as well. He and his team won 12 Golden Globes, if I am not mistaken. They won a film prize at the Film Festival of Cannes. So I think he's probably the world's best expert in that field, and he has been building on the avatar software with Unreal Engine 5 to make something like MetaHuman, but it's better. I think it's better, and we are developing it. It will be first access for our holders, but it will be available to everybody in other metaverses as well, on other blockchains as well. And we can like make private collections with accessories connected to a certain project, so everybody can have their own identity. And it's really, really nice. I showed it to some of the people I know who are really into development and tech, and they all say the same. It's fantastic. So I was very lucky to meet him. We partnered up. We exchanged equity in each other's companies, and so we became partners. And he's also the one that made the NFTs, and I think that the result is satisfying, at least.
Yes, very, my friend, very. And I guess something I want to ask is, how do you envision your metaverse and then the metaverse in general coming together in the coming years?
Well, we initially we had the idea to implement the things that were in our white paper version 1 in other metaverses, but soon we realized that we will be building our own, or we want to build our own using Unreal Engine 5. And we will do it in episodes. We will try to deliver something every quarter or every 6 months. It will be with some gamification aspects on it, play to earn. And we will probably start with the virtual art gallery, but we won't be an art gallery like most other virtual art galleries. We won't sell other people's art. We will buy NFTs ourselves, and we will sell them. So they will be owned by us. We also have in mind to launch some kind of Xspectar Art Award, where we want to incubate young digital artists and provide them with the necessary funds to be able to work, and on the condition that they will be selling their works through our gallery. One important thing is to make our NFTs really worthwhile having. The artwork will be available to everybody, but to be able to buy it, you will need our native NFT. So it will be for sale exclusive for our NFT holders.
Excellent. That's powerful. That's powerful right there.
And then one of the next steps was the property development, of course, something that I know very well. And I saw an Instagram movie of a guy, some young kid in his 20s, and he said he was driving a McLaren. And he said, "What do you do?" "Yeah, I just sold a Meta mansion for $500,000." So it started. I started thinking, "Oh shit, that's interesting as well." So what can we do? We know the business, so what can we do? We ask our architects, can you build Unreal Engine 5 and let your fantasy go? And some of the aspects will be that we will have we will act as a property developer in our own metaverse, and our NFT holders will be able to monetize on their NFT because they can become our brokers, our real estate agents. So we will make the mansions or make the properties, and they are able to find buyers for it, and they will get paid a commission like a real life broker as soon as they find somebody who wants to buy it.
Excellent. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. I think people are starting to get the message hammered home, my friend. I really
Well,
think.
it's getting me scared because it's so much work, and we started with a small idea and it looked very big, and then we start realizing as well that all the different aspects building the metaverse. I looked at other projects as well, not only on the Xrpl and other chains. If we succeed in building what we want to build, I think we will be probably one of the most interesting projects there is point
Mhm.
on any chain. So I don't want to be too cocky and too confident. I know it's a very, very big job ahead of us, but we're very motivated, and I think we have the people in house, the connections, and
Mhm.
probably as well the funding to make it happen.
Excellent. Love it. And I guess because this is a bold move and we're currently in a downward trend in the crypto market, what do you think needs to be done to attract more people into crypto, into NFTs, into Web3 in the metaverse?
Well, I think that legislation is probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
As you know, technology is way ahead of legislation and governments. So that's something that's worrying to all of us. So I think that there's an urgent need to clarity on different levels, and then of course user friendliness, because for lots of people, even for me when I started out, getting into crypto and setting up accounts and trust lines and buying and selling, it's still complicated. So it has to become more user friendly. And I think that the metaverse, I don't know, I'm not a tech guy. I consider myself a futurist, not a developer, but more like a dreamer with a vision. And I think that technology is changing fast, and Web3 and Metaverse will be the future of the internet. It will become the graphical interface between all the available information and ourselves. And APIs are crucial, of course, to make sure interactivity between multiple applications will blend perfectly in. So that's a challenge. And I think that decentralized is probably the way to go. Governments won't like to hear that, but I think that will be the future. But again, we come back to legislation, and some synergy between technology and legislation will be crucial in the near future.
Mhm. Got it, got it. Thank you, my friend. I think to cap off the interview, I'd like to ask, do you suspect that there may be any type of regulatory uncertainty or maybe speed bumps along the way for your project specifically with the way you launched?
Well, we try to make sure that the NFTs and the token are not classified as a security, giving it lots of utility. So we're quite confident in that. We had lots of discussion with lots of different lawyers in lots of different countries. So I'm quite confident, but you never know in this space. But I think that we ticked all the boxes and that we are very careful on all kinds of levels to be future proof, and to be able to be sustainable and have longevity for the project.
Hmm. Dirk, I think people are getting the message, my friend. I guess to cap off this interview, I'd ask, are there any final remarks, any last things you want to let the community know about yourself, about Xspectar, and just about the state of the world?
Well, the state of the world, that's an interesting one. I try to avoid religion and politics. I've learned that that's probably the most sensible thing to do. No,
Smart.
I even don't have time to watch the news. I haven't seen anything in the past few months because I just don't have a
The best.
time. I can
That's
only
the best
promise
way.
everybody who's watching that I'm working. I think I should ask my girlfriend, but I think I'm working 20 hours a day, average. And we have a big team. We are very motivated. We are very confident. And like anything in this space, do your own research. Don't invest anything you can't miss, and be confident in what you believe in.
Mhm.
Check out the team, check out who's behind it, check out how well they are funded, and that's probably the most or the best advice I can give. Investing in our project or in any other project, by the way.
And we can find the most information for you on Twitter and your website, right?
Twitter, yeah, the website. That's one of the speed bumps we had in the beginning. The white paper was the first one. That was my biggest nightmare.
Mhm.
The website guy who was building it, I threw him out 3 days before launch. So in a hurry, we had to find somebody who made a new website in WordPress quick. So I'm not happy with that at all. Most info is on the Twitter page. We are working very hard on the white paper 2.0, which will be more technical, more clear, more on the legal side as well. The timeline and the roadmap will be way more clear. And at the same time, we will be launching our new website, which is created by our artists as well, and which has already the Metaverse 3D feeling on it. We already showed some test images and stuff on the Twitter page of Xspectar. So that's coming up this month, the new white paper, the new website.
Excellent, my friend. Dirk, it was a pleasure to speak with you again, my friend. I got nothing but love and blessings headed your way. I think the XRP community got everything they needed from you. And, I think we'll be hearing a lot about you and Xspectar and everything you guys are building. Keep being bold, my brother. Keep being bold.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much love.